In Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Obi-Wan engage in the fight of their lives on the lava planet Mustafar. This epic contest is to decide which power will rule the galaxy, Jedi or Sith. In the original timeline, Obi-Wan defeats Anakin, but in doing so, lets his morals and emotions take over, causing him to leave his old friend alive. This ultimately plunges the galaxy into decades of darkness and pain from the hands of Darth Vader. But what if, instead of Obi-Wan defeating Anakin on Mustafar, Anakin is actually the one who kills Obi-Wan? Our story begins on Mustafar, where Anakin and Obi-Wan face each other with their blue lightsabers ignited. Anakin's anger and hatred towards Obi-Wan has reached its peak. The two former allies stand on the volcanic planet's edge, their lightsabers locked in a furious clash. Anakin's relentless onslaught proves too much for Obi-Wan to handle. As Obi-Wan defends himself, he realizes that his former apprentice has fully succumbed to the dark side of the Force. Anakin's eyes burn with an intense rage, devoid of any remnants of the Jedi Knight he once was. He has fully embraced his new identity as Darth Vader. Obi-Wan's defenses begin to weaken under Anakin's relentless assault. In a moment of distraction, Anakin lands a devastating blow, severing Obi-Wan's lightsaber. As Obi-Wan falls to his knees, Anakin stands over him triumphantly, his sapphire blade poised to deliver the final strike. Obi-Wan, immobile and battered, looks into the eyes of the man he once called his brother. In a final act of desperation, he reaches out through the Force, attempting to connect with the last remnants of Anakin Skywalker, buried deep within Darth Vader's heart. He pleads for his former apprentice to remember their bond and reject the darkness. For a brief moment, doubt flickers in Anakin's eyes, but his anger and ambition overpowers any lingering shred of goodness. With a surge of power, he strikes Obi-Wan down, ending the life of his former mentor and closest friend. As Obi-Wan's lifeless body crumbles to the ground, Anakin feels the escalation of triumph and victory within himself. He has fulfilled his twisted destiny and let himself become consumed by the dark side. Anakin holds his blue lightsaber with a trembling grip. With a surge of dark power, he forces his anger into the crystal. As it screams in agony, the blade transforms, bleeding a crimson red glow. The symbol of his fall is complete. Anakin returns to the landing platform, where he finds the passed out body of Padme. He can still sense the life force within her. He immediately brings her on board their ship and leaves the planet. He could sense that she was extremely close to giving birth. The crimson skies of Mustafar fade into the distance as Anakin plotted his starship to enter hyperspace and arrive at the peaceful world of Naboo. Anakin powers down the ship and turns to Padme, still unconscious and in deep sleep. He brings her straight to the best medical facility in the system, where the droids immediately help the weighted couple. The scene shifts to Mustafar as Palpatine's Lambda T4A shuttle lands. He could sense a change in the Force. No longer was his apprentice Lord Vader in danger. As he followed his senses, Palpatine found the lifeless corpse of Obi-Wan Kenobi. His fate had been sealed by Anakin. Palpatine smirked at the sight of this. Everything was going as he had planned. Sidious knew that the only thing keeping Vader tethered to his old life as Anakin Skywalker was his wife, Padme. If he could eliminate her, then Vader's furious hatred will be released and the galaxy will forever suffer at his hand. With a smirk, he enters his ship and heads back to Coruscant. The droids on Naboo provided great assistance to Anakin and Padme. Anakin was a nervous wreck and his emotions displayed this perfectly. The droids take her into an isolated room as she enters labor. Much to Anakin's surprise, Padme gave birth to twins fairly easily, and once she saw her husband, she knew everything would be okay. In the original timeline, Padme succumbs to a broken heart and dies in this moment, but because Anakin is by her side now, she knows everything is alright, and she does not die. Anakin and Padme welcome a son named Luke and a daughter named Leia. When she lays eyes on her newborn children, she is blinded to the rage and corruption that has encapsulated Anakin, and all she wants is his love. In the opulent surroundings of the Sith Lord's private office on Coruscant, Emperor Palpatine awaited the arrival of the notorious bounty hunter, Cad Bane. The room was dimly lit, casting an eerie glow upon the crimson walls. As the doors hissed open, Bane strode in, his cold gaze fixed upon the Emperor. Palpatine leaned forward, his bony fingers interlacing as he began to speak. The Sith Lord informed the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy that his mission is to eliminate the Senator from Naboo. His reward will be handsome, and he will have proved himself for future Imperial jobs. Understanding dawned upon Bane's face as the gravity of the situation became clear. As the shriveled Emperor stared into the deep gaze of Bane, he informed him of one last thing. Palpatine placed the hilt of a Jedi lightsaber onto his desk, sliding it towards the Duros. He must use this weapon to complete his task. The bounty was clear. Padme Amidala was the target, and Bane had been given a green lightsaber to eliminate her. With a bow, Bane turned on his heel and made his way towards the exit, the weight of his mission hanging heavily in the air. Palpatine had told Bane that he should begin his search on Naboo, as it is the home world of Padme. She was easy to locate, and when his ship exited hyperspace, a quick hack of Naboo's comm systems revealed the Senator's location. The calm atmosphere of the medical facility on Naboo was disrupted by a sudden disturbance. The silence was shattered as the doors slid open, and the notorious bounty hunter Cad Bane stepped inside. The medical droids, unaware of the danger approaching, continued their tasks diligently. Bane's keen eyes scanned the room, searching for his target. The tension in the air grew thicker as he realized that Padme was alone with her newborn children, Luke and Leia. Anakin was nowhere to be found. His mission was clear: eliminate Padme and ensure Anakin's descent into darkness. Silently, Bane approached the bed where Padme cradled her precious infants, her gaze filled with love and concern. The children, innocent and unknowing, were not part of this bounty. His code as a bounty hunter dictated that they be spared. Drawing the green lightsaber, a grim relic from the fallen Jedi Order, with a swift and merciless strike, Bane unleashed a flurry of deadly blows upon Padme. Her eyes widened in shock and pain as the lightsaber cut through the air, extinguishing her life. The once vibrant and courageous Senator was now lifeless. Despite the brutal act he had just committed, Bane spared the lives of the innocent children, their cries piercing the glum atmosphere as if mourning the loss of their mother. This is where the life of Anakin Skywalker takes a turn for the worse. He returns to the medical facility shortly after leaving it, only to find the lifeless corpse of his wife. His children remained breathing upon her cold body. Anakin entered a fit of rage. Never before had he experienced pain like this, not even when his late mother passed in his arms. This was so much worse. Tears welled in his eyes, but they were not tears of sadness. They were tears of burning fury. This couldn't be happening. Not to him. Not again. The darkness within him surged forth, causing immense strength and power to expel from his body. The Force responded to his anguish, crackling with raw power as he struggled to comprehend the enormity of his loss. Anakin saw the slices on her body that had resulted from a lightsaber, yet he knew that a Jedi wouldn't do this. It was against everything their code stood for. He was once a Jedi. He knows how they think, how they act. This was the doing of the dark side. There was only one man who was responsible for this dark deed. Leaving his children on Naboo, Anakin left his starship and went straight to Coruscant. Anakin stormed through the corridors and went straight into Palpatine's office, his anger expelling and reverberating all around him. His steps are fueled by a potent mix of grief, rage, and the unyielding need for answers. Answers to which Palpatine would immediately give him. A smirk smothered across his face. He told Anakin that he ordered the death of Padme, and she was a mere beacon of light within him. The air crackled with dark energy as Anakin and Palpatine both ignited their lightsabers. Their sabers clashed as the duel between the two evil forces began. Palpatine, his twisted form emanating malevolence, drew upon the vast repertoire of Sith abilities. He unleashed bolts of crackling force lightning that lashed out towards Anakin with unrelenting fury. The blue arcs of energy seared the air, threatening to engulf Anakin in a storm of agony. But Anakin, fueled by a potent mix of anger and grief, defied the onslaught. His lightsaber whirled with blinding speed, a beacon of vibrant red, intercepting the lightning bolts with calculated precision. Each strike sent sparks cascading across the room, the conflicting powers creating an ethereal dance of light and darkness. Anakin was clearly the winner of this duel, his powers growing far greater than Palpatine's. In a blinding flash, Anakin's lightsaber found its mark, plunging into Palpatine's chest. The Emperor's eyes widened with a mixture of shock and disbelief as his life force began to disappear. Anakin, now Darth Vader, stood alone in the remnants of Palpatine's office. In the aftermath of Emperor Palpatine's demise, the galaxy stood on the edge of change. Anakin Skywalker was now fully consumed by the dark side and ascended to the mantle of power. He was the Emperor of the galaxy now, no longer Anakin, but Lord Vader. He ruled with an iron fist, his tyranny extending its reach to every corner of the galaxy. With his children, Luke and Leia by his side, Darth Vader began the tiring task of molding them into his own image. He trained them ruthlessly, honing their force abilities and shaping their minds to embrace the ways of the Sith. Their potential, inherited from their father's unmatched midichlorian count, was nurtured and twisted until it blossomed into a dark reflection of their former selves. Under Vader's tutelage, Luke and Leia grew to embody the very essence of their Sith heritage. And so, the Sith ruled the galaxy, unchallenged and unopposed, as the light of hope faded into obscurity. The once heroic Anakin Skywalker, consumed by darkness, became the very embodiment of evil, forever etching his name in history as Darth Vader. If you enjoyed today's video, you must watch What If Obi-Wan Killed Anakin, or What If Anakin Reached His Full Potential. Please check out our membership program and a collection of enjoyable videos on our page. I hope you all enjoyed, and may the Force be with you.